y'all doing today? It's your boy Jermaine from Eat Right Guys Nutrition and Fitness, back with another video. And for this video, I'm going to read an email that I got. I'm gonna keep the person anonymous, but I feel like the topic that I'm gonna discuss in this video will help a lot of people out because I feel like a lot of people may be in her situation. So let's get into it. So the email reads, hi Jermaine, I'm a senior dietetic student who is looking for advice. I recently got accepted into a dietetic internship through pre-select. So her school in undergrad has a dietetic internship. And so I guess if you're an undergrad at that school, you kind of get priority into the dietetic internship. So she kind of pre-matched, you know what I'm saying? So she kind of knows if she wants to do this internship there, she can get into it. And so over the winter break, I was starting to wonder if I actually want to do the internship. I heard it's very stressful and a lot of work. Now, I don't want to come off as lazy. I work really hard. On top of my nutrition major, I'm also a dance and psychology minor, and I'm involved in a lot of clubs, have an on-campus job, and maintain a 3.9 GPA. So before we go further, you are not lazy. If you can do all that, dealing with clubs and having 2 minors and working at the same time and still maintaining a 3.9, you are not lazy. You are a hard worker. So to continue on. However, it has been very stressful 4 years. It's been a very stressful 4 years. Yeah. And that has been one of the reasons why I'm not sure if I want to take on the stress of an internship. All the restrictions and the new rules with COVID also have me wondering about the internship. I know a lot of people say that it's worth it, but I'm starting to look into other potential pathways I can take. Have you seen people be successful without completing an internship? What do they do? And I would like to continue on to get my master's and maybe some credentials in the field like holistic nutrition. Any input would be helpful. I really enjoy watching your videos. I appreciate that. So these were some good questions. And so in terms of, we can start breaking it down for one. Like I said, you are not lazy. You've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? You did way more in college than I did. I wasn't a member of any clubs. I did have a job, had 2 jobs, but I didn't have any minors. My GPA was like a 3.4. And I wasn't part of any organizations. I'm lying. I did sign up for the SDA, the Student Dietetic Association, twice. I think once my sophomore year. And the only reason why I did that was because it was required for a class, but I didn't go to any of the meetings. And then I signed up my senior year just to, put that on my resume. But I think I might have went to like one of the meetings. So I wasn't active at all. And I still didn't do as good of a job as you. So in terms of the stress, you are stressed because you're doing way more than the average student. Now, the dietetic internship is going to be stressful. Like, that is no doubt about that. I actually felt that I did more work in my internship than I did in undergrad because you're working 40 hours a week. You have assignments that your preceptors are going to give you. You have to be prepared for your rotations. You're also going to get assignments from your internship directors. You're going to have projects. You're going to have to do fancy. It's going to be very stressful. And then on top of that, I was working on the weekends. But I don't think your dietetic internship will be as stressful as what you put yourself through in undergrad because you were just doing too much. And I asked you about what internship you were doing, and it looks like that internship, you're going to be taking some graduate level classes. So that's going to add on to it as well. So the stress level, it's going to be stressful, but it's only probably 9 months. So I think you can kind of get through that. I don't think stress should be the determining factor for you if you want to do your internship or not. And so kind of going on to what else you said, that you want to know if I know anybody that has like a nutrition degree and has done something else outside of being a dietitian. I don't really keep track of a lot of people, but I do know a couple of people. I know somebody that finished their internship and then they didn't really like being a dietitian, or they didn't like that route and they went back to nursing school and became an RN. I actually know somebody that became a RD. This guy he's really smart. And he was like, you know what? I don't really like what I'm doing. I don't have enough responsibility. And so he went back to school to become a nurse practitioner. I also I know some people that actually kind of got out of dietetics completely and just did something totally different. But I think some of the other alternatives that you can do with a nutrition degree without becoming a dietitian, things such as like being a food service management, maybe going into food science. You can be like a food safety inspector. You can get into public health and work for the government. You can also go into pharmaceutical sales, which you can make a lot of money doing that. You can actually go into your own business and maybe give out basic health, nutrition information. But because you said you're thinking about getting your master's degree and maybe getting a certificate in holistic nutrition, I can tell that you're still interested in nutrition. So based off of what you've said and that you've already been pre-selected into your dietetic internship, and it's the year 2022, so you could potentially become a registered dietitian without having to get a master's degree. I think you should pursue the internship if you can afford it. But before we get into finances, let me just kind of go through my situation, because I was in a similar situation as you. So I hated nutrition. Like my medical nutrition therapy, one class, I hated it. The professor made me not want to be a dietitian. I did not want to go and do an internship. I didn't even want to apply to an internship. My mom made me do it. I ended up getting selected to Southern University. I still didn't want to do it. I also had been working as a student worker in an agricultural chemistry lab. And so I actually had a food science internship waiting for me. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this internship. Since I'm selected in it, it's very hard to get into it. The internship is only 10 minutes away from my house and it's affordable. I'm just going to do it. If, you know what I'm saying, it's only 9 months, I'll become a dietitian. If I don't like being a dietitian, I can always go back to being a food scientist or go back and do that food science internship. That's the way I looked at it. And I ended up doing an internship and I'm still a dietitian. So that was my thing. So if finances wasn't an issue for you, then I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I would pursue the dietetic internship. But now let's go into finances, because this is huge. And I'm going to hammer finances every video I can, because I think this is very important. And I feel like a dietitian recommended this profession. If you don't talk about finances and student loan debt and you just tell people, become a dietitian, chase your dream, I think you're doing people a disservice. So let's get into your school that you're attending, and I'm not gonna put out the school, but we're gonna look at their website and how much it's gonna cost for you to do this internship. As you can see, tuition right off the bat, $17,281, $750 per credit. So now program fees, $60 application fee. Application deposit, $500. Technology fee, $100 per semester. Clinical program fee, $850. And then additional required expenses, child abuse clearance, I don't even know what that is, $15. Liability insurance, $26. The academy membership, $58. Local academy membership, $45. Textbooks, $200. That's not even including your books and study materials for the RD exam. Lab coat, I don't know why they want you to get 2 lab coats. Get 1 lab coat, $100 for that. And then your variable expenses such as transportation, gas is sky high right now. Also health insurance. Now you're young, so you can probably still be on your parents' health insurance. So you may not have to pay that $2,400. As well as like your physical exam and immunizations. You can probably get that covered with your parents' health insurance. Housing is a big difference. I'm not sure how close you lived on campus. Hopefully you can hopefully you live close enough to where you can stay with your parents and just commute like that, so you won't have to pay for an apartment where you're not really working and racking up all that extra expenses. And then technology, everybody has laptop, but also you're going to be spending a lot of money on paper, computer ink, food. All that stuff is going to rack up, and you're easily going to go over $20,000 just for this internship right here. So that's why I'm like, on one end, I feel like you should do the internship, because I don't think stress should be your determining factor. Even though it's going to be stressful, I think you can grind through another 9 months of this. And because you're not going to be involved in these clubs, you're not going to have any minors, you're just going to be focused on nutrition. I think it may not be as stressful as you think it is. And I think overall it's going to be better for you, because you still want to you still want to do nutrition. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you still want to do that. But on the other hand, this is really expensive, man. Like, my dietetic internship was $4,500 for tuition, and you're about to pay $17,000 just for tuition. So I think you need to discuss this with your parents. You need to see if you can afford this. And I think that should be your determining factor, because, you know what I'm saying, in terms of financial aid, the only financial aid this college is going to give you is student loans. They're not going to give you no grants. They're probably not going to give you any scholarships. So discuss this with your parents. If money isn't an issue in your situation and you can afford this, I think you should go on and do the dietetic internship and become a dietitian. And then I wouldn't go directly into getting my master's degree. Once you become a dietitian, get you a job, get you some experience. You're already going to have 12 graduate credits, and then you can go back to graduate school, whether it's this school or somewhere else, and you can get your master's degree if that's something that you want to do. And at that time, you'll be working. You'll probably have a job where you're getting tuition reimbursement, or you may have your own private practice doing what you want to do, and you may not even need a master's degree. But that's just my opinion on the thing. I didn't give you like a complete answer, just some things to think about. Hopefully it helps. If you have any more questions or any video recommendations, leave them down in the comment section, or you can email me, eatrightguy@gmail.com, and I'll see y'all for the next video.